All Hallows Eve, the evening your nightmares come to life, all the creatures of the night come out to play. It's time to pay tribute to this terrifying month, so join us as we celebrate the sinister season. This is the Venom Month of Horrors.
Hello and welcome to the Venom Month of Horrors. 31 days of pure terror in video form, and today we're looking at supposedly the scariest movie ever made, The Exorcist. It's not. It's really not.
Where'd you ever get an idea like that?
The Exorcist follows a Catholic priest who is also a boxer and a runner and a psychiatrist. Okay. Who finds a sequel stone in a rack. Meanwhile in America, Reagan, played by Linda Blair, starts to act strangely and before long is possessed by a demon that claims to be the devil himself. Things get out of hand before an exorcism is brought to light after many a death and Reagan is cleared of all paranormal spirits.
Oh, Mom, can't we get a horse?
No, honey, but how about a satanic demon possession? The movie was based on the 1971 novel of the same name, which in turn is inspired by the real-life exorcism of a boy called Roland Doe in 1949. Though it was concluded that Roland was just a mentally ill teenager acting out, as nothing that occurred was paranormal and could have easily been faked by himself, though the novel changed several details of this. Director William Friedkin refused to speak much about the real story, as he never intended to base it entirely off of what happened with Roland, but he was allowed to look through the diaries of the priests who dealt with the case, as well as the medical teams, and Doe's aunt herself. Friedkin himself has stated he doesn't believe the famous head twist actually happened, but many continue to confirm that it did. Originally, the likes of Arthur Penn, Stanley Kubrick, and Mike Nichols were all approached to direct, but all three turned it down until Friedkin was selected based off of his previous project, The French Connection. Alfred Hitchcock also showed interest in directing, but it just wasn't meant to be. No, can't have Hitchcock. It would have been scary then.
Fucking bastard!
The likes of Kay Lenz, Sharon Stone, Kim Basinger and Melanie Griffith were all considered for the part of Reagan, and even Jamie Lee Curtis was approached, but her mum refused to allow it. Even Carrie Fisher and her mother Debbie Reynolds were both considered for the parent and child roles. Filming began on August 21st, 1972, lasting around 200 days, and The Exorcist was released, strangely, on December 26th, 1973. The movie is most known for its insane visuals and special effects, causing ridiculous amounts of controversy, and originally Linda Blair was going to use her own voice, but Friedkin decided it needed to sound deeper and scarier, so a voice actress was used instead. Yeah, it really wouldn't be that scary with,
Your mother sucks cocks in hell!
I mean, it wasn't scary anyway, but we'll get to that.
Please go away.
However, things on set were tough. At one point, Jason Miller, who played the priest, was infuriated by the director, who surprised the actors with a gunshot to capture real-life shock and fear. Miller retorted, "I am an actor, I don't need a gunshot to portray an emotion." True, but some people do. And during filming, studio executives actually checked in weekly and constantly shook their heads, calling the film completely ridiculous. Yeah?
Oh, what are you talking about, for Christ's sakes?
The movie earned a worldwide total of $232.6 million, making it currently, when adjusted for inflation, the 9th highest grossing movie of all time and the top R-rated film in history, even being Kane Hodder's favourite movie ever made. This is the scariest film I've seen in years, the only scary film I've seen in years. If you want to be shaken, and I found out while the picture was going that that's what I wanted, then The Exorcist will scare the shit out of you. It's not scary. It's an expert telling of a supernatural horror story. The climactic sequences assault the senses and the intellect with pure cinematic terror. It's not scary. It's an amazing film and one destined to become at the very least a horror classic. Director Friedkin's film will be profoundly disturbing to all audiences, especially the more sensitive and those who tend to live the movies they see. Suffice it to say, there has never been anything like this on the screen before. Yeah, but it's not scary. I'm not sure exactly what reasons people will have for seeing this movie. Surely enjoyment won't be one, because what we get here aren't the delicious chills of a Vincent Price thriller, but raw and painful experience. Are people so numb they need movies of this intensity in order to feel anything at all? No, because it's not scary. The Exorcist is a chunk of elegant occultist claptrap, a practically impossible film to sit through. It establishes a new low for grotesque special effects. And it's not scary.
He doesn't give a shit.
Friedkin's biggest weakness is his inability to provide enough visual information about his characters. Whole passages of the movie's exposition were one long buzz of small talk and name droppings. The Exorcist succeeds on one level as an effectively excruciating entertainment, but on another deeper level it is a thoroughly evil film. It's nothing more than a religious porn film, the gaudiest piece of schlock this side of Cecil B. DeMille, minus the gentleman's wit and ability to tell a story. There's a theory that great films give back to you whatever it is you bring to them. It's absolutely true with The Exorcist. It reflects the anxieties of the audience. Some people think it's an outright horror fest, but I don't. It was written by a devout Catholic who hoped it would make people think positively about the existence of God. William Peter Blatty, who wrote the book, thought that if there are demons, then there are also angels and life after death. He couldn't see what people thought it was scary. I've seen it about 200 times, and every time I see something I haven't seen before. And none of them were scary.
But he will also mix lies with the truth.
The film was nominated for a whopping 10 Academy Awards, walking away with Best Sound Mixing and Best Adapted Screenplay, and even spawned a sequel in 1977, which is even less scary. Another in 1990, a prequel in 2004, another a year later, and even a TV series in 2016. A TV series? How many times can she get possessed?
I don't know.
But the film's controversy was through the roof, Linda Blair even receiving death threats from Christians to the point she required bodyguards to protect her for 6 months after the film's release. When she was nominated for Best Actress, it wasn't public knowledge until afterwards that she didn't do the voice and that most of the work was a model, but due to the Academy's rules, the nominations couldn't be withdrawn, but it was probably a reason why she didn't win it. It was also the first ever horror movie to be nominated for Best Picture, and George Cukor was infuriated, even stating he would resign from the Academy if it won. In addition, the film immediately received 3 lawsuits after release. The first was from Eileen Dietz, who doubled for Linda Blair for the vomiting sequence and went uncredited. Why would you need a body double just to go bleh, bleh?
I don't know anyone who fits that description.
But the director insisted that she had barely any screen time, and he ultimately won the lawsuit. The second was from Mercedes McCambridge, who did the voice of the demon and also went uncredited. The director maintained she stated she wanted no credit so people would believe it was Blair's voice, but as soon as the film came out she suddenly changed her mind and received the credit. And the third is the strangest of all. A viewer in a cinema was so gobsmacked at the graphic nature of the film, he passed out and cracked his jaw on the seat in front of him. He actually sued Warner Brothers themselves and won. Well, they paid him out of court. Anyway, The Exorcist sucks.
Thank you very much.
Now, don't get me wrong, I respect this for what it's done for the horror genre. The makeup and special effects are absolutely incredible, and so is the acting, but my compliments pretty much stop there. The film is just arse-numbingly boring. You have a possessed child and you bounce back and forth with other less interesting subplots. Oh, and there's a lot of them. The film also just completely drags its balls all across your face and takes forever to get itself going again. Half the film is talking about a dude's death. Who cares? You know, the possessed psycho chick? Yeah, how about we see more of that? But even when they do focus on Reagan, or Regan, they can't even decide how to pronounce it either.
Regan, can you sit up?
Are you comfortable, Reagan?
Pick one.
Be silent!
But even when they do decide to focus on Reagan, it's still all over the place. People want to slam Jack for having no transition in The Shining. I agree, but here, Reagan is exactly the same. She's perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden they go to hospital and she's calling people cunts. It's right the fuck out of nowhere.
Specifically, Mrs. McNeil, she advised me to keep my fingers away from her. Goddamn cunt.
I can't believe it.
Why is he laughing at that? Sicko. And is this ancient artifact crap really needed? You've already got Satan taking over a kid.
You really don't want me to play, huh?
No, I do. Captain Howdy said no.
Captain who?
Captain Howdy.
Who's Captain Howdy?
Oh, sorry, Shining, but I guess this came up with a psychic child cliche. The main focus is obviously the scares, but it's not scary, and the reason it's not scary is because the film is doing nothing more than trying so desperately to scare you. It's trying so badly to be edgy, dark, disturbing, and scary, and it comes across as just desperate and pathetic, and most of the time unintentionally hilarious. It's a statue with horn tits and a horn camel toe dick thing. That's not scary, that's hilarious. I'm gonna get you, you old whippersnapper.
Hey, I think we've got a guest.
You're gonna die up there.
See, that's actually quite scary. But then, just seconds later... pissing herself. Because apparently pissing yourself is fucking terrifying. Go and get bent.
Critic, we've peed our pants. Isn't that mostly terrifying and kind of humorous?
No, it's mostly humorous and kind of ridiculous.
It's complex.
It's stupid.
Stupidly complex.
Complexly stupid.
Come on! Ooh-wee! Go, come and catch me! Ooh, it's alive!
Oh, no, that was no spasm. Look, I got on the bed. The whole bed was thumping and rising off the floor and shaking, the whole thing, with me on it.
Mrs. McNeil, the problem with your daughter is not her bed. It's her brain.
Way to completely ignore everything she just said about a possessed bed.
I reckon you're gonna feel something a little bit cold and wet.
Chris, doctors.
Mother, please! What's happening? Stop! It's burning!
Come on, it's like a goddamn cartoon! Okay, that's a bit better.
Keep away! The sour's mine!
Fuck me!
Fuck me!
Fuck me!
And right back to the greatest comedy I've ever seen. People really find this frightening? This is some of the best stand-up comedy I've ever witnessed. I'm gonna fucking die.
Pathological states can induce abnormal strength, accelerated motor performance. And for example, say a 90-pound woman sees her child pinned under the wheel of a truck, runs out and lifts the wheels a half a foot up off the ground. You've heard the story. Same thing here.
Hey, a smart moment. You're welcomed here. Okay, I'm watching a goddamn Family Guy sketch. And the funny thing is, there's an extended deleted version which is even more ridiculous. Yeah, that would have been silly, but the version you released, that was scary. Just so you know, anything genitalia related I will laugh at. Except for hard candy.
Well, this desecration in the church, you think this has anything to do with witchcraft?
Stop bringing witchcraft into films that have nothing to do with witchcraft!
It's too bad. Yeah, I hate to go alone. You know, I love to talk, film, discuss, to critique.
Piss off, that's my job. Leave it to the professionals. Thank you, a scary scene!
Rick Jesus, fuck you! Rick Jesus, fuck you! Liam, fuck you!
You see, it's so over the top. It's so goofy. It's so ridiculous that it's almost like a parody movie at this point. It's pretty bad when the Scary Movie spoof was more frightening than this.
Lick me!
Really? She makes her mother eat out her bloody vagina. This is so absurd it's laughable. They are literally begging you to scream, and the sad shit is, this was actually toned down. The book had Reagan actually thrust the crucifix inside her so much she actually orgasmed. But yeah, obviously that would have been too far and would have just taken away the fear. I mean, even Paranormal Activity had at least a couple creepy moments. Anytime this one does, it's immediately followed by a goofy one to mess it up. Paranormal Activity is scarier than the motherfucking Exorcist.
You want to loosen the straps, son?
I'm afraid you might hurt yourself, Reagan.
I'm not Reagan.
Where's Reagan?
In here with us.
Okay, that's terrifying. There we go. They got a really scary moment that they didn't immediately sabotage afterwards. Well done, and there was no music to interfere either. Well done, guys. Yeah, I just want the director to know that pissing yourself isn't scary, and here's a shock. Vomiting yourself isn't scary either. I don't know what kind of traumatic experiences the director endured as a child, but this isn't scary. I swear to God, if she shits the bed next, I'm killing myself.
Look, your daughter doesn't say she's a demon. She says she's the devil himself. Now, if you've seen as many psychotics as I have, you'd realize that's the same thing as saying you're Napoleon Bonaparte.
What? That's a terrible comparison. What the hell are you talking about?
Did you do that?
Wait, she can open drawers with her mind, but she can't untie herself? And the only explanation given is...
In time.
No, no.
In time.
Why would you give them time to exercise you? I mean, you can slam doors and move your bed around, but you can't untie yourself?
What's that?
Holy water.
You keep it away.
It burns! Oh, it burns!
Seriously? For the love of God, scariest movie ever put to film! And she's spewing lines from The Wizard of Oz!
I told Reagan that was holy water. I sprinkled it on her and she reacted very violently. It's tap water.
Hey, another smart moment. Well done, you get a cookie. Oh my God, she has an outie belly button.
Stick your cock up her ass, you motherfucking worthless cocksucker.
This film is just trying so hard to be edgy and scary, and it's failing miserably. It's like watching Screech Powers trying to intimidate AC Slater.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Oh yeah, spit isn't scary either.
Let the enemy have no power over me.
I'm the son of iniquity, be powerless to harm her.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell, Paris.
You know, you'd think that Satan, this almighty being, the master of all evil, the most demonic entity of the underworld, would have more material than fucking mum jokes. I mean, dear God, is this Satan himself in all of his glory, or is it a goddamn YouTube commenter? Oh, man, yeah, well, your mama sucks cocks in hell, innit, fam? Yeah, proper virgin, innit? Pathetic, man. Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. Funny. Innit, bruv? Okay, so she does yell abuse at the priest about his dead mother, which is harsh and emotional, so that's quite well done, before the final blow.
The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you! Now, fuck off!
This is ridiculous. It looks like a fucking Michael Jackson music video.
Is she gonna die?
I will if this film doesn't end soon. We don't even see the Exorcist die. Yeah, he's in the goddamn title and they just return. Oh yeah, he's dead now. And even them trying to resuscitate him looks hilarious. And then he beats the crap out of his own patient. He's great at his job. But is this really all it took? I mean, the priest literally just asks them to take him instead. And they do. All you had to do to get rid of the most evil entity in all of existence was to ask it nicely. Man, people should really try that more often. Michael! Please take Josh Hartnett instead. Oh, hey, it worked. That priest was right.
Do you want to make a confession?
Yes, mate. He's dead. Great makeup and awesome effects with maybe a couple creepy moments, but hilarious when it shouldn't be, boring, bland, and incredibly overrated. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more, I'm reviewing every film in the 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die 2016 edition book, so make sure you subscribe to keep up to date with them and also turn on notifications to be alerted for each episode. You can vote for which film to be reviewed next at the link in the description. What do you think of The Exorcist? Let me know about it in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, Rob, not liking one. People are going to forget, like, Silence of the Lambs. They're just going to immediately, like, oh my God, he didn't like The Exorcist. Ah!